Before starting this style, all of the hair has been separated into two sections, with a part that runs from one side of the frontal area to the center of the rear area. Javier Ruiz, of Dynamic Look, starts the cut on the left side of the nape, taking a fine mesh which is cut straight, clipping the ends with the scissor tips and keeping his fingers right against the neck. Bring down all of the layers on this side and make a straight cut using the scissor tips in order to get a straight base but with movement. Cut the right side in the same way, using the length on the previous side as a reference. Bring all of the hair back behind the ear, thoroughly combed, then cut straight using the scissor tips in order to make all of the layers the same. The ideal length for this style is the width of 2 or 3 fingers below the rear hairline. On the side, the hair should be left straight behind the ear, and the frontal area should be cut to the level of the jaw, leaving a difference in length between the frontal side area and the rear side area. Do the same procedure on the other side. Next, make a triangle at the fringe area, which is separated into 2 parts and cut at an angle on both sides to the level of the jaw. This length is to be used as a reference when cutting the hair at the middle upper area. Take vertical sections and cut them to the same level, placing your fingers in a position parallel to the head. Layer by sections towards the rear area. Do the same procedure on the other side. Once the middle upper area is layered, go on to do the same operation in the lower layers of the rear area, cutting in parallel to the neck and using a mesh from the middle upper area as a reference. Slide the scissors over the hair mesh by mesh in order to soften the ends and add more movement to the style. In the rear area, slide the scissors in a different position in order to clear up the nape area while creating more movement at the ends. All of the layerings in the middle upper layer include softening the ends using the emptying method, without removing length and removing only sections from within the meshes. Dry with your fingers to get the final result. In these shots, you can see the finished style, very natural and modern, and which allows multiple finishes, such as those we will show you next. For the next process, the multi-striped coloring technique will be used. Start the application at the fringe area by taking fine meshes and soaking them with color over aluminum foil. Continue the application by taking a section about 1.5 centimeters thick, and from that separate an upper line. Apply the color over aluminum foil in a medium copper golden blonde tone. Wrap the mesh and set it aside. Choose a line of hair from the section that was separated and apply a super clarifying tone in a beige color to create contrast. Repeat the process all over the upper area. On the sides, take sections all around the head, selecting a thicker mesh for the darker color and finer meshes for the lighter colors. The rest of the head is detailed using a freehand paintbrush technique. Treat only the lightened ends that the model had using the same color that was applied to other meshes, in this case a medium copper golden blonde tone. Here you can see the color application once it's finished, as well as the distribution of the meshes. A lighter tone on the smaller meshes and a darker tone on the longer ones. Once the color is finished, you can appreciate the contrast that's been created. Start the cut on the left side of the nape, setting length. Cut in a straight fingered position, but using the scissor tips. Bring down layers and touching your fingers to the back in order to cut straight. Do the same operation on the other side. Make a partition at the ear in order to separate the side. At the rear area, make a straight cut, clipping with the scissor tips and with the fingers touching the shoulder. The frontal side area is cut by raising slightly the position of the fingers so that the result is a bit shorter and with a rounder shape than the rear area, while keeping a long mane. Next, make a side part on the frontal area, and from this section, take a triangular section that will be cut at an angle. From this triangular section, separate 3 meshes at the fringe, scraping the ends to get more movement. Take a mesh that's combed over the face and divide it in 3 for a touch of design. Cut the 3 meshes to 3 different levels, the first underneath the cheek, the second at the level of the mouth, and the third at the level of the jaw. Do the same operation on the other side. Next, bring all the hair from the right side forward. Cut it in a curve from top to bottom using the mesh cut to the jaw as a reference. Do the same operation on the other side. In this way, the length is maintained, but weight has been removed from the frontal area. Now, layer the middle upper area by diagonal meshes, making a cut that's parallel to the head. The reference to be used will be the length of each large mesh. Each large mesh should have a different kind of layering done on it, in function with the lengths that have already been set in the main, starting in front and finishing in the rear area of the head. Continue with the same process, starting on the left side, making divisions according to the natural fall of the hair. Place the meshes in a diagonal position and cut them parallel to the head. Remove weight from the area of the crown, lifting the hair and clipping the ends using the emptying technique in order to make a lighter style while maintaining length. Continue using the emptying technique on the side. Do the same operation on the other side. Apply moistening mousse in order to add definition to the cut. Dry with your fingers, adding volume at the nape and always considering how the hair will be styled in the end. In these shots, you can see the final result. You can get a different finish by teasing a bit at the roots and applying spray in order to get more volume.